record. Okay. So welcome everyone to our 9th and 10th grade family night. We really appreciate you joining us. The recording of tonight, along with the slides, are going to be posted on our website. You'll be able to find them under the 9th grade course page and then also the 10th grade course page. But again, the recording and the slides will be posted on our website. So if you do have questions tonight, please make sure to use our Q&A feature at the bottom. Please do not use the chat. We're going to be answering all of your questions in the Q&A. If you think of questions later and you want to email your student school counselor, you can also do that as well. And tonight we're going to be going over a few things. So here's our agenda. So we will have an overview of Branham, academic requirements, the transition to high school, getting involved, online databases. We have a lot here at Branham, so we're going to go over a lot of them. And then finally, Branham supports. Here is our amazing counseling team. So we have myself, which is Samantha Hickey Bloom. I work with students A through CL. We do have Miss Magana, who works with students CO through G. We have Mr. Lopez, who works with students H to LI. We also have Miss Morella, who works with students LL to O. Miss Bridget, who works with students P to SN. And then we have Mr. Salgado, who works with students SO to Z. And they all just waved in their little boxes. We also have amazing supports here at Branham. So the first is Miss Liu. She is our college and career specialist. She does amazing work kind of helping students get prepared and through the application process of college and, things after high school. She also does workshops and career, workshops geared towards that, as well as signing work permits, which students often want to have a job at some point in high school. So she's a great resource for all of our students. We also have our registrar who is located in our student services. She is our guru on transcripts and will help students. So if you have any questions on that, she is a great person to ask questions. And then also Beatrice Espinoza, she's our community liaison. So you'll be seeing communication from her about different events in the community and ways to get involved.
All right. So when it comes to high school, we operate with credits. So it takes 220 credits to graduate from Branham High School. Each class is worth 5 credits. Most students take 6 classes per semester. Some take 7. If you're on track and you're a senior, you could potentially take 5. But your kiddos, freshmen and sophomores, are going to be taking usually 6 and sometimes 7. So each class is worth 5 credits each semester. And for the duration of the year, you're in that same class, and second semester counts again 5 credits. So for a total of 60 credits. So each semester you earn 30, and then each year you earn 60. If you're taking 70, it's going to be a little bit more than that. And obviously, if you're a senior, you're taking 5 classes, it's going to be less than that. By the end of freshman year, your students, if they passed all their classes, should have earned 60 credits. By the end of sophomore year, they should have earned 120 credits. By the end of junior year, they should have earned 180. And then by senior year, they should have at least 220 credits. If you pass every single class, you're probably going to have more than 220. You can have 230, 240, 250, but the threshold is 220 credits. So our graduation requirement are 220 credits, split up in different categories. So we are aligned with A through G. So if your student passes every single class at Branham with a C- or better, they are A through G eligible, meaning that they can apply directly to a university after high school. So the A category is history. So each student is required to pass 3 years of history. We go to the B category, that's English. Each student is required to pass 4 years of English. Math is the C category. Each student is required to pass 3 years of math, but we recommend 4 years. We want students to be college ready. So that fourth year of math is really crucial. That way they don't get into high school not having taken math their senior year and they're a little bit rusty. That's why we recommend 4, and colleges want to see 4 years of math on your transcript. Science is 3 years, 2 years of language other than English, and it has to be in the same language. So if a kid takes Spanish 1 freshman year, they should take Spanish 2. They pass both of those classes and they meet the graduation requirements. But we do recommend 3 years of that foreign language, and it doesn't have to be Spanish. It can be another language that we offer. So 2 required, 3 recommended. Then we have visual and performing arts. That's 1 year. 1 year of college prep, 1 year of CTE, career technical education, either VAPA or a special program. And then finally, 2 years of general elective. So I talked about it a little bit earlier in the previous slide, A through G requirements. History is 2 years. English is 4 years. Mathematics is 3 years. These are just the requirements, right? The recommendations are a little bit more like math. It's 4 years recommended. Science is 2 years. Foreign language is 2 years. Visual and performing arts is 1 year. And then college prep elective is 1 year. And we want you to pass these classes with a C or better. We want you to be eligible if you choose to pursue higher education to be eligible to apply. So we want a C or better. We're going to be meeting with your students second semester in February, and we're going to create a 4-year plan. So we're pretty much going to map out what their high school career is going to look like. It's a fun time. It's exciting for the freshmen to sit there and kind of know, okay, I'm going to take these classes sophomore year, these classes junior year, and then these classes my senior year. Of course, it's a little fluid, like that can change. You have the ability to choose the electives that you want, or if maybe we sign you up for 12th grade English 4, but by the time you get there, you start developing a passion and a liking for English, then you can certainly take AP Lit. But this is kind of just a tentative roadmap that we create for kids, just so they can kind of know what high school is going to look like, and they have an expectation for the classes that they should be taking.
So these are some extra programs that we offer here at Branham. The first is for SVCTE. So this is our Silicon Valley Career Technical Education. Students often refer to it as SV for short. So they offer 23 courses. Most of them are A to G, so most of them will meet some requirement that Mr. Salgado mentioned earlier. There are 2 sessions. They are from 7:30 to 10:30 a.m. And the second session is from 12:45 to 3:45, Monday through Friday, and it's open for 11th and 12th graders. Additionally, we also have middle college, and that is for 11th and 12th graders as well. And in this program, students will take 2 to 3 classes at West Valley, and then 2 to 3 classes at the high school level. You have to have a minimum of a 2.8 GPA, and there is like an interview process. And so if you're interested in either of these programs, please don't hesitate to reach out to your counselor and we can get you more information.
So 2 other options that our students have opportunities to take is dual enrollment and concurrent enrollment. Both of these are courses that are taken at the college, and so they are college classes. So the rigor is high, and it does require a commitment because you're going to have to dedicate extra time, especially with these courses, as they would be in addition to your students' 6 or 7 classes that they're taking at Branham. Our dual enrollment is for students that are in 10th through 12th grade. So they can take those courses. They are through West Valley College, so we have an agreement with them. Students will receive both high school and college credit, West Valley will provide us with a list of courses that are available to all of our students in Campbell's district. So no other students outside of Campbell can take these courses, but all of our students within the district can. The courses are free. West Valley pays for them. But the one thing that we always want to make sure that students understand with a dual enrollment course is that every grade goes on that transcript. So whether or not they pass, they get a withdraw, they fail the course, it will go on their transcript. It's going to go on their transcript for credit or no credit, and it would be included in that GPA. So we do want them to have a good understanding of that. Concurrent enrollment is a little bit different. It is available through all the different community colleges, especially ours that are in the area. But the ages are going to vary. So some of the campuses will allow for ninth graders to take a concurrent enrollment class, but others are going to have it where it's just 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. And so with this one, students are only receiving college credit. So with these courses, we would put a note in their transcript at the top that they've taken the class, and then that was the grade that they received, but it's not included in their GPA or it's not included for credit. So I would definitely encourage your students to look at dual enrollment first, because they would get both high school and college credit. And then if they're still interested in taking a college course that's not on that list, then maybe looking at concurrent enrollment. For both of these programs, they do have to get approval from us as their counselors. So it's really important that they come and see us before they're signing up for anything. So ninth grade goals. One of the things is it is important to get to know the campus and where the different resources are located. So hopefully your students have found where student services is, where our wellness center is, our college and career center. If they're not sure where those things are, they can come to us in student services, and we're happy to kind of walk them to the different resources that we have on campus. We went through all of the classrooms yesterday and today for ninth graders. We talked about basically getting involved. This is a great way for them to build connection to Branham and to the school community. We're always encouraging students to find something that they would enjoy, that's fun, that's going to spark a passion maybe. So clubs and sports are a great way to kind of add to their overall high school experience versus it just being about their classes, their grades. This adds another element. Keeping grades up. I would say, it's definitely good to start the year off strong and continue to either maintain those grades that you've been getting or improve over time. So maybe it wasn't a great start, but you've now improved. We still have the 12-week and the semester before grades are becoming final. We're always encouraging students to at least get grades C's or higher. And really that's just to make sure that they're keeping all of their options open for once they graduate from high school, and then they can decide what's best for them. Each year, we're going to create a 4-year plan with your students. So for ninth graders, we haven't done that yet. We will do that probably early February, where we're going to sit down, talk about the classes for next year with your students, and then we would basically map out an idea for junior and senior year. But please note that those are rough ideas, and so you can always change them as the years progress. Asking for help. We always encourage students to ask for help. Every time we are sitting with students, we're saying, have you asked for help? Have you talked to your teachers? Have you talked to your admin? Depending on what the situation is. So if you can also help to just encourage your students at home, asking for help and advocating for themselves is definitely something that we want students to focus on. And then preparing for finals. They may not have had that at their middle schools, and so it's really important to make sure that they're studying. Those finals will happen in December and June. It is included in their overall grade, so it's definitely important that they're studying. Have them maybe review the content a little bit earlier. Don't wait until the night before finals. Maybe they're studying a week or two ahead of time and breaking it up, or kind of studying with a group, right? That's another great way to just kind of bounce ideas and different study habits off of each other. And 10th grade goals are, some of them are very similar to our 9th grade goals, but one of them is that we would want students to prepare for the PSAT. We will actually offer the PSAT to 10th graders in March. So we recommend that you take that really because it'll just give you a baseline of where you're at for the SAT or ACT, and it gives you an idea of maybe areas to focus on before you take the actual exam. If you haven't registered or you want more information about that, you can always see our assistant principal, Mr. Levy, and he can make sure that you have that information or can get registered. Getting involved, so similar as the 9th grade goals, again, it's just good to become involved. Maybe you found something in freshman year and you now want to continue it. It's a great way to kind of show longevity or to show leadership in a program or interest, passion. Those are things that actually our four-year colleges are looking for when they're looking at your application. So they're looking at more than just the grades you received, the classes you took. They also want to see what you've done. So whether that's a club, a sport, community service, working, babysitting younger siblings, right? Any of those pieces are always really good for your students to document and track that they've been doing. And again, keeping your grades up. So each year, again, just making sure that you're kind of sticking with those C's or higher. If your students are struggling, we recommend that students, parents, guardians, that you reach out to the teachers first to kind of get an idea of why your student is struggling. And then again, discussing kind of what resources or supports that they can provide to hopefully help and improve. Starting college and career research. So this is a great year to kind of explore your interests, see what's out there. What do you want to do after high school? We always try and stress with our students, nothing's set in stone. So keep your options open, be flexible with what you're seeing, try new things. And so then that way you can kind of see what you like, what you don't like. So colleges, majors, nothing has to be set, but it's always good to just start exploring. We're using a new program this year, CCGI. It's through California colleges. I would definitely recommend that your students are doing some research through there. There are both college and career surveys and things your students can take to kind of help with that exploration. Asking for help. So again, kind of similar to 9th grade, we're just trying to make sure that students are reaching out to adults on campus, asking for help with what they need. Sometimes we know that students can get intimidated talking to adults, so they can always ask for help through an email. They can send their teacher a note. They can ask in person. So whatever is most comfortable for your students, but we just want to make sure that they're getting the help that they need. And then again, just preparing for finals. So reviewing early and then maybe trying those study groups would be something we would definitely recommend. And then when do students see us? So see their school counselors. Each year we have basically like specific times that we're going into the classrooms or having these family nights like we are having right now. So for pretty much every grade level, 9th through 12th, we're going to be doing 2 classroom presentations. So one in the fall and one in the spring, as well as then doing at least one family night throughout the year. And so that's where we're going to be basically reviewing just important information for their specific grade level. All 9th graders through 11th graders will have a one-on-one meeting with their individual counselor. And in those meetings, that's really where we're going to be reviewing their transcript. We would look at current grades. We would talk about the courses for next year. And then we would either create that 4-year plan with them if they're a 9th grader, or we would be making those adjustments if they are a sophomore or junior. Seniors get a little bit different. So seniors, we would then be meeting with them one-on-one right in the beginning of the school year to kind of go over their college career, whatever their plans are after high school, and then kind of meeting with them throughout the year to help with applications, college career, or financial aid. And then we always hold a family night for that grade level as well. Outside of this, students can always schedule a meeting with us throughout the year. We hold appointments before school, after school, and then students can actually select us for tutorial and FlexiSched. So that's our new system we're using for tutorial. And so we are an option if students want to see us during that time as well.
Great. So now we're going to talk about some strategies that will be helpful for your freshman and sophomore students to follow as they transition to continue with their high school career. First is selecting classes that fit their interests and talent. Although the electives that the students take are more limited in choice during their freshman year or sophomore year, junior year and senior year is the time to be intentional with the elective classes that your student chooses to take. This will be the time to explore your passions, interests, and take advantage of taking any classes that may be related to their future career or major if they already know what they want to pursue after high school. And if your student feels ready, encourage them to challenge themselves to take any AP classes, dual enrollment classes, concurrent enrollment classes, so that they can prepare for their education post-high school as well. Next strategy is getting help from trusted adults. Transitioning into high school as a freshman or meeting sophomore year responsibilities can definitely be stressful and overwhelming, but that is why we're all here to support your students in any way that we can. Whether they check in with a counselor, a teacher, or any other trusted adult on campus, it is important that they communicate their needs or feelings to an adult so that we can provide them the support that they need. We have a lot of resources available on campus, and we want them to take advantage of them, as the whole purpose of having these resources is to benefit your student. So please encourage your student to find a trusted adult on campus and communicate with them regularly. And communication can look differently. It can be in person, verbally, it can be through email, Google Chat, if they want to slip us a note under our door, whatever that works for them. We just want to make sure that they are doing that communication to the trusted adult. Next helpful strategy is to have an overall good sleeping routine and schedule. Sleeping is so critical as it helps students stay focused, improve concentration, and improve engagement in class. It will be counterintuitive for students to pull an all-nighter to complete an assignment or study for a test, since it will be impacting their academics the next day, and it may impact their concentration or focus in class and that same test that they were staying up all night studying for. And we wouldn't want your students to have wasted all this time studying if they're going to be too tired or too or unfocused to complete their assignments in class the next day. So please, please, please encourage them to sleep for 7 to 8 hours. I know that it is hard to do that even for us adults, but this will definitely make an impact on their overall well-being, and we want students to be re-energized so that they can focus on their classes and activities the next day. Lastly, having good time management and study skills will make a significant impact on how students perform and complete classwork and tasks. Students should definitely be working on assignments that were assigned to them in class that day, so that the assignments don't accumulate or pile up if they are too delayed completing the work. So for example, today was a B day. So then that means they should be completing the homework that were assigned to them today rather than doing the work from A day and so on. Having a schedule or a planner on how their evenings may be organized so that they can complete any homework or assignments can definitely be useful for students. We actually have a lot of resources that we can share with students if they want to explore using a tracker, a to-do list, a weekly planner, and so on. So if your students would like to use one of these tools and explore what works best for them, please have them reach out to us counselors, and we'll be happy to share those resources and work with them to figure out what would work best for them to be successful academically. If able, it also helps to have a dedicated room or space for your students to organize their assignments to be able to study. We always recommend that students not study on their beds because it reduces students' focus, since most people tend to associate their beds with comfort and sleep. So whenever possible, definitely have your student complete schoolwork at the kitchen table, a desk, or anywhere they can set up their assignments and stay organized. Great. So let's talk about tutorial. Tutorial is one of my favorite things that that Branham offers to students, just because it's such a great resource for all students. It is an extra 120 minutes a week that is embedded in their schedule for students to get support from teachers, ask questions, complete homework, or study for a test. So this looks like it will be a 30-minute session or a 30-minute time that it's allotted to them within their schedule 4 times a week, which totals up to 120 minutes a week. Students will be able to also make appointments with their counselor during this time. This year, we're using a new program called FlexiSketch, where students are able to plan in advance and schedule which tutorial class they will be going to throughout the week. This will help them with their time management skills, organization skills, and making sure that they have a spot booked as to where they'll be going to for tutorial, rather than just thinking on the spot as to what teacher's class they're going to go to on that day. Please encourage your student and check in with them as to what teachers they're booking their tutorial class with, and making sure that they are reserving their spot in a class. Students have an assigned advisory class that they are defaulted to if they do not choose a class. However, students still have to select and choose a tutorial class they will be going to, regardless if they end up wanting to go to their advisory class. And again, if students would like to meet with their counselors during this time, they can do so by selecting us as the class that they will be going to during tutorial. If your student needs help scheduling out their FlexiSketch, please have them reach out to us counselors or their teachers, advisory teachers as well, and we will be happy to help them navigate the website and schedule a class to go to for tutorial. Great. So getting involved. Part of what makes high school fun and exciting is that there are different opportunities and ways for students to get involved on and out of campus and connect with their peers and other adults on campus that they may not have as their teachers yet. Encourage your students to get involved in something they like or are passionate about through clubs, sports, and school events, or maybe even starting their own club if they can't find a club that they're interested in. The added benefit of being involved, in addition to enjoying your time, their time in high school through these participation, is that it will also help your student become a stronger candidate for any four-year universities that they may be applying to in the future. Colleges definitely want to see that you are involved, whether in clubs or sports, from the beginning of your high school career, and that you're being consistent with your involvement. This means that it is not about how many different clubs you are part of or how many different organizations you completed your community service with, but rather it means being intentional with your participation in the club, sport, or other extracurricular activities, and demonstrating how you were able to grow and contribute to the activity through your consistent participation. For athletics specifically, we have many sports teams in each season, fall, winter, and spring, that students can participate in. Again, this is also another great way to further connect with the school community and connect with other students, other adults with the same interest. For community service hours is not a high school graduation requirement, but it is encouraged for students to complete them to show their dedication to the community and those in need. Being able to demonstrate dedicated commitment to a community will also make your student a stronger candidate when they're applying to a four-year university. If your student is completing any hours, please make sure that they are keeping track of it for college applications. We don't need that tracker. We don't provide any form of tracking sheet for the community service hours, but they could write it on their notes, on a Google document, on their notebook, whatever is helpful for them to keep track of those hours. Lastly, work experience is another way for students to connect with others and grow their leadership, communication, and social skills and overall responsibilities. If a student needs work permit, they will need to check in with Ms. Liu, who is our college and career specialist, and she's also very, very resourceful and knowledgeable about all things colleges. Students can also complete internship opportunities or shadowing experiences to explore their interests, attain knowledge, and grow their skills. Activities and clubs. So again, it is important that students are exploring their interests and passions through the different activities and clubs that we offer on campus. Our activity director is Ms. Rainieri. She oversees the activities that happen here at Branham. Please be on the lookout on ParentScore for any information that Ms. Rainieri sends out with the events happening on campus. And if you have any questions relating to activities or clubs, please direct them to Ms. Rainieri. Here we have a bit more information on our school's athletic program. As a reminder, all sporting tickets are sold through GoFan and no cash is accepted at the entrance of the sporting games. If you have any questions or require more information about our athletics program, please check our school website, or you can also reach out to Coach Lane, who is our athletic director.
So next, we're going to be talking about sports and marching band PE. So this is a new process here at Branham and throughout our district this year. So if you want to participate in sports or marching band PE, there's a few requirements that you have to follow. The first is completing the PE application, the sports PE application, prior to each season, prior to the deadline. So for winter sports, the deadline is going to be early November. So you're going to want to make sure that you're filling out that application before the deadline in order to get credit for your winter sport. Students do have to pass the FitnessGram in the spring semester of their senior year, which is the trunk lift and the mile and things like that. You have to pass both semesters of PE with at least a D in ninth grade, so PE course 1. Students must have a 2.0 GPA during the entire length of their season to remain eligible for sports PE or marching band. If a student drops below the 2.0 GPA mark, they will be dropped from sports PE, and we will have to figure out another way for them to get their PE credit. And then you must play at least 4 seasons in your time throughout Branham. So for example, your 9th and 10th grade year, you may play tennis and track, and then you're done for both years. You may also change your sports. We got a few of those questions in our classroom presentations the past few days. You could play tennis and track, and then football and baseball. Just kind of depends on what you want to do, but 4 seasons at least. This is also available for single sport athletes. You just need to make sure that you play that sport every single year at Branham. And you want to be mindful of, time commitments and injuries and stuff like that to make sure you can earn all your PE credit. For marching band, you must be enrolled in a band class every single year at Branham. And then you have to participate in marching band PE all 4 years. Each season of either a sport or marching band is 2.5 credits. So the first 10 credits out of the 20 credits for PE can come through or is going to come through their 9th grade PE course. And then that second year can be met a variety of ways. And then attendance and at practices and contests, so whether that's game, matches, is mandatory. That is how you earn your grade. If you are not going to practices, you're not going to games, you will not earn a passing grade for your sports PE class. Next, we're going to talk about online databases. So a few of them have been covered here tonight. So the first is Canvas. So this is where you are going to find your most up-to-date grades. Aries is updated every 6 weeks. So at the 6-week, the 12-week, and the semester. But Canvas, those are the most up-to-date kind of grades and assignments, things like that. It's also another way that you can contact teachers. You can contact them through email, but Canvas is another way. Aries, like I said, is the progress reports for the 6-week, the 12-week, and the semester. It's also where you can find attendance, transcripts, and graduation status. So any of those you can find there. We do actively use Parent Square, which is communication with Branham staff, our school bulletin, receive messages from the school via email, text, or app notification, whatever is your preference. And then you can comment on school postings to engage with our community and give feedback and suggestions. We love to kind of involve the community in a lot of what we're deciding. And then CCGI, as mentioned earlier, it's a college exploration and kind of post-secondary option database where students can look to see what they're interested in, see what colleges they may want to go to, what majors they offer. It also gives us reports and information, and then students can apply directly to CSUs and UCs from this website when they get to that point in 12th grade. And it also has financial aid support as well. That's a big piece for us. And then lastly, what was talked about is just a reminder is Flexi schedule. Please make sure you're checking in with your student every night to see that they scheduled for the next day or the rest of the week. We want to make sure that our students are scheduling themselves into classes that they need help in. And then they're able to ask their teachers for additional support, or they can come in and ask their counselor. As was mentioned, if your student or you need help with FlexiSketch, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're more than happy to help, and we can walk our students through how to schedule their FlexiSketch. So at Branham, we have a wonderful wellness center. A lot of students access the wellness center for a variety of reasons. So we do have our mental health resources. So if students need brief interventions, brief counseling, they do offer that. And they offer, if your student just needs a 5 to 10 minute, quiet break from class or things are getting distracting or overwhelming, we do offer that as well. And they also offer community resources, whether it's referrals to outside agencies. They do school-wide presentations. They do have a food pantry. They have resources for students. They have a lot of really great resources. And Lillian Calvin is our kind of go-to person in the Wellness Center. She's our site wellness specialist, and she's great. She's a great person to reach out to if this is a resource that you think your student may need.
So additional resources. So we have a great website, Branham High School Counseling website. You can find a ton of information there, a ton of resources there. You can find all our information there, our email. You can set up an appointment with us through Calendly on there. So please take advantage of it if you ever want to reach us. We also have the College and Career Center information there. Miss Lou, we have she's a great asset to the team. An expert pretty much in everything college and career. So you can access her through the website as well. We also have Bruin to Bruin tutoring. So we have a great student body at Branham, and we have a lot of kids that are very giving and give their services in whatever subject they feel super comfortable in. So we connect those students to some students that maybe are younger or they're struggling a little bit. So they help each other out. They get in touch with each other and set up a tutoring service. And we have that, which is great. We had it. I had it at my previous school, and I know how much it helped students. So we have that here at Branham. So if your student needs a tutor, have them reach out to us, and we can connect them with another peer tutor. QR codes. So we have QR codes here on the screen. You can definitely scan those, and it's kind of direct you to the websites. We also have QR codes at the student services. So there are many ways that your students can contact us and get in touch with us. But now in this day and age, 2024, QR codes are kind of the thing to use. So we have codes here: Academic Success, Wellness Center, College and Career. So take advantage of these. Parents, you guys are more than welcome to come into the college and career, or to the student services and set up an appointment with us. If you just scan the QR code, and you can find a time, and we can definitely meet. So take advantage of all the services we offer. And lastly, this is our high school counseling team. So Miss Bloom already introduced us, but if your student last name's A through CL, Miss Bloom is their counselor. If last name CO through G, we have Miss Magana. H through LI, we have Mr. Lopez. Miss Morella works with students LL through O. We have Miss Bridget, who works with students P through SN. And then myself, Mr. Salgado, I work with students last names SO through Z.
Awesome. So that concludes our 9th and 10th grade family night. If you would like to stay on, ask a few more questions. If you aren't able to have your question answered tonight, please don't hesitate to reach out to your school counselor, and we can support you the best we can. Thank you.